Hello, Kidney Warriors. This is James from Dadvice TV, your online kidney health coach. And this is a very special week. This is Dadvice TV's Kidney Health Week. For 7 straight days, I will be going live every single day to talk about something that's going to help us with kidney health. Now, let me give you guys a quick rundown of what we're going to be talking about this week. So I want to make sure everyone knows so that you can tune in to the live shows that you are really interested in. First of all, today we're going to kick things off. I'm going to talk about my strategy for kicking kidney disease to the curb. How I went from being diagnosed with a single-digit GFR to where I am today with not a single symptom, GFR 33, feeling great, stage 3. Never was I on dialysis. Never did I get a transplant. We're going to talk about the strategy that I used to get me to where I am today, and that's going to keep me going and getting better. And it's a strategy that most kidney patients can implement easily because there's nothing special about it. It's just pretty much some biology and nutrition. Pretty simple. Now, tomorrow night, we have back with us John Vito, the author of Cooking for Your Kidneys. He's going to talk about protein. And I'm not just talking about plant-based protein. You don't have to go 100% plant-based when you're on a renal diet. It is possible to work in animal-based proteins. And he's going to talk all about that and how, if you're looking for some meat, how to select the meat, how to prepare it, and kind of portion control. How much meat can the typical person fit into their diet? Now remember, he owned a restaurant. He's a chef. He went through kidney failure. He was on dialysis and he got a transplant. He knows all sorts of stuff. So he will be here tomorrow in day 2 talking about protein. Next, we have, oh my goodness, someone who's going to, I know, become a regular here. Dr. Quasim Butt. He is a nephrologist down in Texas. He has a YouTube channel, Facebook page. This guy has more energy than me. Can you believe that? Tons of energy. He's a nephrologist who actually is approachable. He's been trying to spread the word about doing things early. Diet changes, lifestyle changes, so you didn't have to get to dialysis as fast as possible. It's not a race. We don't want to get there until we absolutely need to get there. And he's going to talk about the frustration of kidney care. Now, some of you are noticing that I'm looking down. I changed my layout, my whole setup from what I used to have, so that now my camera is right above my monitor. So you're going to see me looking down a little bit at the beginning as I'm reading from the screen what the schedule is coming up. After that, we're going to have on Tuesday, you know who's going to be here, Jen, our renal dietitian. And we are going to talk all about understanding your labs, how to read your labs, what to track so you can know you're moving in the right direction. And she's got a great download. So does John tomorrow, things you can download so that you can practice the things that we're going to talk about. But we're going to dive into your lab so you know what to look for and what it means. Whoa, look at that. We're not even halfway through and we already have so much great stuff. After that, we are going to have the team from Pro Renal Plus D. I would say the name of their company. I think it's Nephrologist, but I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I don't want to butcher anything. I probably just did. But they have a doctor who's going to talk about renal multivitamins. We're going to learn about Pro Renal Plus D, the renal multivitamin all of the dietitians I work with recommend and that I use. And you'll learn, should you be taking a renal multivitamin? You may not need it, but we're going to talk about it and give you all sorts of information and answer your questions. Now, the day after that, oh, it's going to be a busy day. Let me tell you this. On the 6th, which is next Thursday, guess who we're going to have? My other favorite supplement that I take, and we'll be talking a little bit about supplements today. The one that I take, my probiotic, so that my gut health is good. We are going to have the team from Renadil. Yes, they are going to be live talking about Renadil. They're going to answer questions that we have. We're going to learn more about it. Renadil is a great probiotic, which can help reduce the amount of nitrogenous waste that gets absorbed in your bloodstream. That way you don't absorb as much, so you're putting less burden on your kidneys. And I've got my labs online where I took it for 90 days. I took my labs, took it for 9 days, got labs again, and you could see my results. They were fantastic, practically had me down to tears. Now, let's do a little bit more housekeeping before we jump into the show for today. If you have not subscribed on YouTube, please, I ask you, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Today, we broke 86,000 subscribers. Holy cow. I remember when I started and I thought, you know, I'm probably not even going to get 1,000 subscribers. But 86,000, that is fantastic. Our community is growing and getting stronger. Now, I took a look and it's great. 86,000 subscribers, almost 7 million video views to date for the Dadvice TV channel. 7 million, right? Like 6.7 million or 6.7 million video views. Unbelievable. But 76% of the video views in the last month are for people who aren't subscribed. So please, I would love it if you could subscribe. It doesn't do anything, you know, when you subscribe, but it shows me, hey, I'm reaching more people, and you will get a notification whenever new content comes out, and you can read the title and decide, hey, I want to make sure and catch that, because Dadvice TV tries to bring you as much information, help educate you, motivate you, and inspire you to improve your quality of life while you happen to have some kidney problems. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, I haven't even been looking at all the comments. Lots of activity here. Oh, I see a lot of regulars. Yay. Awesome. Great to see you guys. Oh, and we got Jared. Boom. Jared has videos that he does with the team over on Facebook. I participate in some of them. I watch as many of them as I can. They're live like every single day, multiple times, which is fantastic. All right. Let's jump into today's topic. How the heck did I improve my kidney so much? How did I go from a single-digit GFR all the way to where I am now? Well, I have an 8-step program, but let me back up a little bit before we get into those 8 steps. When I was diagnosed, and for those of you the first time your first time here, you can hear a brief version of my story. I had no clue whatsoever about kidney problems. My mom, kidney problems, stage 3. But it really didn't seem to get them in my mind about me having kidney problems. Had high blood pressure. I controlled it with medication. I was very, very obese. You know, I like to say I was fluffy, but no, I was obese. My BMI, it was bad. It was bad. Obese or severely obese, I believe, is 35 on your BMI. I was way past that. I wasn't eating healthy. Practically every meal I ate came from a speaker and a drive-through window. On the way to work, I'd drive somewhere, grab some food, eat it in the car on the way to work, at lunch. Walk across the street, McDonald's or the small mom and pop shop or Burger King, Taco Bell, something. Eating unhealthy. For dinner on the way home, I got traffic. I have a long commute. Just go to the drive-thru, pick something up. So my diet was completely unhealthy. I barely knew how to cook except for hit reheat on the microwave. Thought I had food poisoning. Ended up in the ER. In and out of consciousness. I ended up being admitted to the ICU where I spent a week, and I was told the second day that I had kidney failure. And it was a complete shock to me. Renal failure? What? I couldn't even pronounce nephrologist. The doctor was talking to me. I swore she was wrong. I was convinced it It's all the Pepto I took. It's all the Mucinex I took. It's the cough that wouldn't go away, the upset stomach, all the NyQuil I took because I couldn't sleep. Every single kidney symptom you could think of, I suffered from. Well, reality eventually set in. The doctor, she didn't have the best bedside manners, but she knew she had to be pretty blunt with me to get through to me. And she pretty much told me, you need to get a transplant, but it's going to take a while. So right now, we need to put you on dialysis. And I thought, what? Dialysis? No, I can't do that. I travel too much. My work is running around, jumping up, doing all sorts of cool stuff. I'm a go person. I can't slow down for dialysis. She said, if you don't do it, 45 days, your wife's going to pick out your casket. And that right there was the moment that it all changed. And I realized, holy cow, this is serious. I'm getting a little emotional right now telling the story. It's quite a story here. And I realized I got 2 little kids. I had to do something. And dialysis just wasn't the right answer for me. Or at least I didn't feel it. I'd accept dialysis if it was the only option. But I started researching. And I found so much conflicting information, as all of you have. All sorts of conflicting information. But I'm a nerd. I look a lot at data. And I discovered when I went to the WHO website that the United States ranks very poorly with kidney care outcome. And I'm here in the United States. And I wondered, why the heck are we so poor? We got tons of money. We got hospitals everywhere. And I started looking at the countries that ranked higher than us, and they don't have that many dialysis centers. And they really rely on early intervention, especially nutrition, diet, things like that. Changing your lifestyle, getting healthier, instead of just waiting for everyone or expecting everyone to end up on dialysis and get on that transplant list. And there's not a bunch of kidneys laying around. That list could take a long time. And some of us, if you get on that list, you may not have the amount of time it takes. That's why it's important to promote that you need that kidney and be out there and be active. And people like Jared, who's watching right now, his group helps get your story out there so you can find a kidney sooner, find a living donor. Well, my wife, of course, she was very upset when she heard about all this, and she went to our family doctor, and he told her, tell James to come see me. As soon as he gets out, come see me. I can help him. He doesn't need dialysis. I know he's hearing all sorts of scary stuff right now at the hospital. I can help him. Have him come see me. And this guy, he should be retired, but he loves treating people and helping people. So he's still working. He's one of those people you're like, holy cow, they love their profession. And he's constantly learning. He's really up on so much stuff. And he happened to be up on kidney health, and I didn't know that. So I did my research, and I made an agreement with the doctor. I would not go on dialysis, but I would get my labs every day. And if my GFR went back down to 10 or got lower, boom, I'd go right on dialysis. But give me a chance to get better. So I then went and I got out on Thanksgiving Day. Friday, I went and I saw my primary care physician. And he talked to me, and he had a plan, and he had some ideas. He'd never done this before, someone who was as bad as I was, but he knew my personality. He knew there was so much room for improvement for me, that my diet was so bad, my lifestyle was so unhealthy, and he knew he was confident 100% he could help me. As a matter of fact, he told me in the very beginning, James, I want you to make a diary of this, what happens and what you learn and what you go through, your feelings and stuff. Because one day you're going to get better and you're going to want to write a book. And then you have all that material. Well, you guys are watching that material. I don't like to write. I don't like to keep a journal. I'm a nerd. I got tech. I love tech. So I started making videos and started getting better. And then the videos were taking up a lot of space on my computer. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to put them on YouTube. And I started putting my videos on YouTube, beginning just talking to myself. and sharing my journey. And at that point, we had pretty much created an 8-step process for me to get better. And I set a goal. I set an impossible goal. And I know that it is highly impossible, but there's a sliver little chance. So I set a goal to get to stage 2. Could I get to stage 2? Well, my kidneys were really shot, scarred, shriveled. In reality, I probably won't ever get to stage 2 without some medical miracle, some device or something like that. But I set a goal. Then we set milestones. And we followed this 8-step process, which I'm about to share, to get me to where I am today. All right. So here we go. Here are the 8 steps, the strategy that my doctor and I work together. I've been following this now for almost 2 years. We will be coming up on the 2-year mark at the end of November. Okay. So we're approaching it pretty quickly. And I had every symptom. Okay. I was at death's door. And when I was actually in the ICU, I had every symptom. I was hallucinating. I wasn't hallucinating like I saw kittens or butterflies. It was just my vision was so messed up that it was hard to even look around the room and make things out. Every symptom, the cough, oh my goodness, that dry cough, that was like every second. It was so hard to get the ultrasounds and stuff because of it. I had all of them. But here's the process. And this is what I live by. And this is something that all of you can implement. So first, it all starts with a team. You got to build a good healthcare team. And your team is not just one doctor. It's every doctor and everybody that you work with that helps you with your kidney disease. I'm talking about your nephrologist. And for me, the nephrologist, she was there, and I've had a couple of them. They were there in case things really went wrong. If something went sideways, they're there because that's their specialty. I had 2 endocrinologists. Why 2? I wanted extra opinions. I am very pushy when it comes to getting the best health care. And that reminds me, I didn't tell you guys that Friday, the last day, we have Sarah Bitter attending with us. And we're going to talk about healthcare and how to get your voice heard and get things changed to help kidney patients. But your healthcare, it's all those, your urologist, your renal dietitian, and everybody should have a renal dietitian. You may not need to see them very often. You're stage 2, your GFR is high, it's in the 70s. It's good to at least have a couple appointments with a renal dietitian, just to kind of teach you some healthy stuff, you know, and how to eat better and to look at nutrition. But that renal dietitian is critical. In my opinion, they are the most important person on your team after yourself. You are number 1, they're number 2. Now, one of the challenges we all are going to face when we put together this team, how the heck do we get them to communicate? They're going to have different ideas for treatment. My nephrologist, for example, wanted my vitamin D level to be around a 50. My primary care physician, really smart, been doing this for a long time. He's like, James, you got kidney disease. Let's try something. I want you at 80. She's like, no. He's like, yeah, come on. Here's the research. Here's why. It's going to be hard when you have multiple people managing your healthcare team. So the solution that I used is think of your healthcare team as a football team. I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan, so I have my own little Seahawks team. Okay, I got all the players. I need a Russell Wilson. I need a quarterback. I need the person who listens to everyone, who knows everyone's skills, what they can do, and makes the call on what we're going to do next to move us forward, to get us closer to the goal. So for me, my quarterback was my primary care physician, not my nephrologist. The nephrologist is there for an emergency. They're there when your GFR is super low. A nephrologist or a typical nephrologist is not there to talk about diet and nutrition. Their focus so much is on treating the disease, not trying to kind of reverse it or prevent it. They get involved near the end. That's where you usually get a nephrologist. So I made my quarterback my primary care physician, and everyone had to always send copies of labs, copies of after I had an appointment, all the information, send it to him. He got to make the call on the play. What are we going to do next, doc? So build up your team. You need a healthcare team. They need to focus on communication so that they can talk together and one person will make the call. And you let them know, hey, this is the way it works. You're the boss. I'm the boss. This is where it's going to work. If you recommend something, you got to tell him. He's the quarterback. He calls the play. So that's the first step. Build your team. Step number 2, you got to stop further damage. Okay. You got to find the underlying cause of your kidney disease and then manage it so no more damage happens. Now, sometimes you may have something causing your kidney disease that you can't completely stop, but there are treatments that can slow it down. So you do that. Let me take a sip. Usually I have a guest on here, so I can take sips when they're talking and I can switch the camera and you guys don't see me doing that. But you got to manage the underlying cause. This also means managing your blood sugar. Even if you're not diabetic, blood sugar is critical for kidney patients. We cannot let it get out of control and end up becoming pre-diabetic or diabetic, because diabetes is the #1 cause of kidney disease, followed by blood pressure. You got to manage your blood pressure. All right. Because if you don't, boom, you're going to accelerate existing damage, cause more damage. Your blood pressure, most doctors want you at 130/80 or better. Or better means those numbers are lower. And it is possible for it to go too low. So you got to work with your doctor. They're going to prescribe medication possibly. You take it as prescribed. Okay? You got to stop further damage. Now, you need to also look at your lifestyle. Are you smoking? Are you drinking a lot? You might have to stop those. Anything that's going to cause damage or accelerate existing damage, you got to cut it out. So for me, I was bad with soda. Oh, so bad. I was bad with fast food, processed food. I mean, not even just the highly processed food you find in the grocery stores. I'm talking ultra processed, bottom of the barrel junk that goes into so much of the quick serve restaurants, fast food. You know, that's not quality. That is quantity. Now, it's not dangerous unless you eat a bunch of it. Well, holy cow, I was eating a bunch of it and it was not good for me. So I had to cut out instantly all fast food. And the hardest thing that I had to cut out, the thing that I thought I would never be able to give up, and today I couldn't even imagine myself drinking it, soda. My favorite, oh my goodness, since I was probably like 9 years old, was Dr. Pepper. Oh, so even right up to before I went to the ER, I would order pizza, Domino's or somebody, and order me a nice cold 2-liter of Dr. Pepper. And that was my drink while I ate a pizza and a half, 2 pizzas myself. I'd order like 3 or 4 pizzas. That way there's enough for the family. But that drinking soda was bad. I gave that up. You have to give up. With step 2, we're stopping further damage. So you need to manage the underlying cause. Either put the brakes on whatever it is that caused your kidney damage as much as you can. If you have lupus, there's only so much you can do. But work with your healthcare team to manage that underlying cause and stop. Steve froze a funny thing. To stop any further damage. Next, number 3, step 3, Your labs. And remember, we're going to be talking about those on Tuesday with Jen Hernandez, renal dietitian. You have to monitor your labs. You need to always get a copy of your labs, whether it's a printout or they're on a portal and you can go and download them. You got to have your labs. You need to track them. The labs are the playbook for your healthcare team to use to figure out how to try to improve your kidney health, or at least slow down or stop the decline in your kidney health. But chances are they may be able to at least improve some of it. Now, we're not fixing your kidneys. There's no fix for your kidneys, no cure. We're reducing the burden so we can get more out of the kidneys we have. The kidneys I have today are still the same ones that sent me into the ICU. But you'll need those labs regularly. Now, how often should you get your labs? Well, it's going to vary on where you are. Today I'm stage 3, so I don't get my labs as often. I'd probably get them every 3 months if it wasn't for COVID. The last time I got them was the beginning of January, and I feel great. I know I'm doing better now. I just don't know how much better. So I'm still in stage 3. But most importantly, I have no symptoms. When I was stage 4, I like to get them at least once a month because I was following these 8 steps. So I would get them and then make adjustments and see where I needed to improve. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But getting your labs regularly is important. Now, if you're stage 2, you just got a little bit of kidney disease, a few little kidney problems there, you may be able to get it, once a year when you do your yearly physical. I would never go more than a year. And I want to know, you got to at least know how you're doing, where you're going. Because if you're starting going down, you want to catch it early. Most symptoms don't appear until you're at, probably stage 4 or 5. Mine came on suddenly and I was stage 5. And I'm going to guess that my decline to stage 5 happened so rapidly that I was probably close to a single-digit GFR when the symptoms appeared. I got sick for about 2.5 weeks before I went in the hospital. But before that, things were fine. I was out trying to jog and lose weight, not jogging very fast. Probably pretty comical if you'd saw me jogging around the neighborhood. I probably look like one of those actors in the fat suits running around or something like that. But don't go more than a year. And talk to your doctor, talk to your healthcare team. When should you get them? And they'll give you a great, estimate on how often to get them. Now, my insurance did not like me getting my labs and stuff so often. So I had to work with my healthcare team for them to help me work through the challenges with the insurance. And I would call and talk to the insurance and explain to them, I'm getting healthier. It's going to save you money. It's a hard conversation to have with them because they're just not made to have that conversation. All right, step 4, optimize nutrition. Modify your diet as needed. This is where your labs are that roadmap, the playbook for your healthcare team. Every time you get labs, you adjust your diet. So what I did is I looked at my labs. There's a standard range, okay? If I'm too high, what do I need to do to get it down here? If I'm too low, what do I need to do to get up here? And every single time I got labs, my goal was to get within the standard range. I didn't care where. I could just be just a little sliver above the bottom. Boom, I'm in the standard range. I'm happy, I'm good. So we had these little tiny milestones set up, me and my primary care physician, the quarterback of my healthcare team. Let's get you a little bit better. Let's get this, let's get your hemoglobins up, to get your red blood cells up. Let's get that sodium down. So boom, everything's within the standard range. So every time I got labs, I re-optimized my diet and we looked at what am I doing so that I can make adjustments to get within that standard range. Then once all my labs were in the standard range, we did the same thing, but now I was like, how do we get them to the middle of the standard range? Now, some things you can't easily do. You're not going to get your creatinine into the middle. You're not going to, get your GFR to go boom to 120, a perfect GFR. Some things you're just not going to get into the standard range or into the middle, but you focus on those that you can. And every time I got labs, I could see, aha, I made progress. Now, along the way, and I've documented this in video, I've tried a lot of things. A keto diet. I went extremely keto. The kind you see all over YouTube, where you've got these people talking about it. They're great in shape, and they're talking about the keto diet. And my doctor, I told him, Doc, I'm going to do this. He said, James, don't do it. Your GFR is going to go down. It's going to make your creatinine go up. We got to adjust it. And I would say, no, let me get labs. Let me try it for a month. I'll get more labs and we'll see. I think it'll work. I'm smart, Doc. I keep forgetting you got to trust those doctors and leverage what they know. I did my keto. GFR went down like 3 or 4 points, which is a normal swing. But now it's on the bottom part of that normal swing. I didn't like that. I wanted it only going up, 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 up. We modified it. Worked with a renal dietitian. Went more low carb, not keto, but I'm really, really low carb. I'm almost what you would consider keto, but I'm not eating bacon for breakfast or anything like that. And boom, GFR started going back up. So every time you get labs, you re-optimize your nutrition. Where are you too little? Where are you too low? What do you need to change? So, and I would always ask the questions, Doc, why did that drop too low? Then look at my diet. Well, okay, here's what I think did it. You didn't have enough of this, and usually it comes down to nutrients. And this is where your renal dietitian is the superhero, the rock star of all this. And then I would say, okay, well, how do we fix that? Okay, we're going to do this. We might need to go a little higher, and then we'll bring you back down. So go higher for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then we're going to bring you back down. And that, boom, that process right there, it gets your labs to where things are almost all normal and your kidneys are not just crying for help and struggling. And it's just absolutely amazing how much nutrition can help. And to stop hurting your kidneys, you drop the soda, you drop the smoking, all the things that are bad. You're controlling your blood pressure. Your kidneys like, oh, I can take a breath. And they can better keep up with you. They're not going to remove all the creatinine from your blood. They're not going to make everything perfect. They do a lot of stuff. You know, they're managing vitamin D. They're managing your blood pressure. But they're going to be able to do those things better because you're not overburdening them. Now, your kidneys are not getting healthier, but they may be reducing inflammation. So you're leaking less protein. And they're just better to keep up because you're not trying to push so much through them. All right, next step, number 5, consider supplements. Now, this is a touchy topic right here because your doctor is going to run screaming out of the room when you say that. Supplements, no, can't do supplements, they're bad. Okay. Also, some people are going to say supplements, they're not FDA approved. Well, FDA does not approve supplements. My MacBook Pro is also not FDA approved, but it works fine for me. People have all sorts of weird opinions on supplements. Here's how I perceive supplements. And this is the definition I'm using for supplements and what my healthcare team uses to define what a supplement is. A supplement is something that you take that supplements a deficiency you have. I have a gap in something. I don't get enough vitamin D. I will supplement by taking vitamin D supplements. I don't get enough fiber. I can add more fiber as food to my diet, or maybe, well, I can't get exactly where I need to be because of all my other limits that I have. So I will supplement with the fiber supplement. Now, a couple supplements that a lot of renal dietitians recommend that I use, Pro Renal Plus D is a great multivitamin for kidney patients. It doesn't have the stuff that's going to build up because our kidneys can't get rid of it. Has more of what we need, things like the B vitamins, some iron, things like that are in there. It could help with anemia. I also take Renal. This is a probiotic. This is a supplement because the food I'm eating is not growing enough of the right bacteria in my gut to metabolize some of the bad stuff before it gets absorbed into my bloodstream. So I supplement the bacteria in my gut with this, which helps my kidneys. Now, whatever supplements I take may not be the right supplements for you because it's filling in a gap, a deficiency that we have in the diet that we're eating, all right, and in the life. Just because we have the same GFR also does not mean we need the exact same supplements. You may go outside more than I do. Okay, I am such a nerd that, holy cow, I'm surprised I'm not living in the basement, okay? Yelling up, Mom, bring me a sandwich. I don't go outside that much. I've got a little bit of red. I got some freckles. I got some red in me. I burn so quickly. So I don't get enough vitamin D from the sun. Maybe you live down there in Southern California, you're Huntington Beach, you're going out, you're getting some sun, making vitamin D. You don't need as much as I need to supplement, all right? So it's all going to be different. Do not self-prescribe supplements, all right? And there is no supplement, no tea, no oil, nothing like that that will repair your kidneys, all right? I've seen a rash of cure your kidneys in 5-minute type videos all over YouTube. That's all crap, okay? That doesn't work. You cannot physically repair your kidneys with anything that goes in your body, okay? You can get a brand new kidney and actually doesn't even repair your old one. It's still there. You're just getting an additional kidney. And one day we may have an artificial kidney, but right now there is no supplement, none of it. Believe me, not a one, all right? They're all scamming you, taking your money, and they could be causing you harm. Your renal dietitian and your doctor, but primarily your renal dietitian, will help you determine what supplements you need. Don't be against supplements. Don't be sitting there going, no, 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 no. If they tell you you need some more vitamin D or you need some more fiber, work with them. Can I do this in my diet, doc? Are there things I can do that I can eat or adjustments to my diet so that I get that, I fill in that deficiency? Or do I need to go and find something that comes in a bottle? And if they do say go to the bottle, ask them, do they recommend a brand? Is there good sources? You got to be careful what you get. You got to read the labels, stick with trusted brands, but be open to supplements, and supplements fill deficiencies in your diet. All right. Something you're not getting in your life. That's what they do. They fill that. They don't cure. They don't fix. They don't do anything magic. Okay. Next, number 6. And I wasn't even sure I'd talk for an hour. Look, we're 40 minutes in. I'm on number 6 of the 8. This is an easy one. It's easy to say. It can be hard to do. Be active. All right. Most doctors or most people out there who talk about health recommend 30 minutes of activity at least 5 days a week. All right. Now, here's the cool thing. The activity doesn't have to be anything difficult. It could be walking. It could be swimming, aerobics, playing frisbee outside with the dogs, gardening. Just get up and move. If you've got severe anemia, if you don't have a lot of energy, start simple. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do a little bit here throughout the day. Or when I got out of the ICU, let me tell you something, going to the mailbox, and I have a small driveway, okay? I'm not like some rich person, a Beverly Hillbilly or something, where you practically got to drive to the mailbox. I have one, it's real close. I had trouble walking to the mailbox. What I did is I'd walk to the mailbox, take a break. I actually would take breaks on the way to the mailbox, come back. The next day I tried to go a little bit further. And I remember there were days I just went to the neighbor's driveway. I walked down mine, walked next to the neighbor, and they were real close. We talked to each other all the time. Walked to theirs, and then I came back, got more and more and more. Now I can go out. This morning it was very humid and very hot. I did over 4.25 miles this morning. I wanted to get in 6 miles of walking and just listening to some great music, but it was too hot and humid here in Cincinnati, Ohio. But you just work your way up, and you don't have to be doing 6 miles. You don't have to be doing 5 miles. I set a goal of 10,000 steps a day, and I work to get that, and that's my activity. But find something you enjoy and just get up and move. It's good for stress. It helps with depression. It helps get your blood flow, helps your blood pressure, can help with weight management. Just get up and move. That was a very important part. Now the next one, number 7. This is a tough one. It's one that I still struggle with, especially right now with all the COVID-19 stuff that's going on. Manage your weight. All right. You gotta manage your weight. Oh, it's so important. And we'll be talking about that on Monday when we have our nephrologist from Texas on here. We're going to talk about the importance of weight. You got to manage your weight for a number of reasons. First of all, obesity puts so much stress on your body. It could lead to heart disease. Oh, that's a problem kidney patients face. It can lead to diabetes. Oh, more kidney damage. Remember we talked about managing the underlying cause, not causing more damage? That means not getting diabetes or managing your diabetes if you have it. If you're type 2, losing weight, if you're obese or overweight, could make a huge impact in how you manage your type 2 diabetes. Another reason, if you need a transplant, this process, there's no guarantees that anyone can stop the damage to their kidneys. And just as we naturally age, the kidney function decreases naturally. There's no guarantee. So we need to be prepared if we do need a transplant. Now, if you need a transplant, some facilities will do it with a BMI up to 35, and BMI stands for body mass index. It's a number they use. I do not like how they calculate BMI. A lot of people disagree with how BMI is calculated. None of that matters. They say BMI 35 or lower. Now, some facilities, or most transplant facilities, require a BMI of 30 or below. It's like, woo! So if you're sitting there with the BMI, say, at 38 right now, you need to work to get down to under 35. So that if you do need a transplant, there are some places that will give you a transplant. Because when it comes transplant time, timing is important. We need to be ready if we get on that list and that call comes. If you get to below 35, then focus on getting below a BMI of 30. And ideally, it would be great to have a BMI below 25. Now, my BMI, I'm not going to share all the numbers because I don't like my weight. There's an old comedian. I'm working on it. That's me. I got so close to a 30. So close. I did not break 30, but I was 30 point something. Then COVID. Started staying home, getting bored. Little snack here. Like, oh, it won't count. Calories going up. Not walking as much, not exercising as much, putting on the weight. My BMI has gone up. And I weigh myself every day now, and I'm working. It's coming back down now. The last probably 2 weeks, I've been on my way down. But it's a struggle. I understand. It's hard to lose weight. If it was easy, there wouldn't be all that money with all those thousands of different diet programs out there. But manage your weight, okay? It is very, very important. And my doctor will not let me my primary care physician will not let me avoid the scale. All right. And I was talking earlier with a kidney patient, Christmas. I don't know if Christmas, if you're watching right now, hope you are today. If you are, say hello. Because I've been talking so much, I haven't had time to see all the comments go by. But Christmas today was telling me about when she went in and she got on the scale, and it had been a while, and it was a higher number than she expected. And she took her shoes off, got back on, was down a pound. She took her socks off. She kept wanting to take everything off. And her doctor's like, no. You've gained weight. My doctor, gaining weight is one of the biggest no-nos. And he wants me to keep losing weight. He's not even happy if I stay stable. But he encourages me. He does it in a positive way. So stay on top of that weight. And then last, number 8, for the 8 steps that I follow to get me to where I am, is manage your stress. Thinking like, holy cow, manage stress. Why is that number 8? It is important. And it's funny, every time I see my primary care physician, the number 1 problem, or the number 1 thing he asks me, how you doing? And then we have a conversation about stress. How's work? Are you managing your stress? We have to manage stress. And it could be find something you like. And actually tell me in the comments, what do you do to manage stress? And we'll talk a little bit and we'll talk about some of these comments. What do you do to manage stress? Now, the reasons to manage stress is when your body gets stressed, you're not going to stick to your diet. It's so easy to go off your diet. It's so easy now to start snacking. And that's part of my problem, why I've gained weight. We got the COVID lockdown. Companies laying off everywhere. People losing their jobs. Unemployment skyrocketing. That's stress for me. I'm thinking, holy cow, I got to work really, really hard. I can't lose my job. I have to appear as to be one of the last people to get rid of. So I am busting my butt, working hard so that I'm involved in stuff. I've got work to do. We're making progress. I'm being seen. I'm visible out there, so they won't lay me off. Of course, that's a lot of stress, doing all that stuff. And I'm eating. I'm snacking. You know, I'm sitting there, I get a little upset, not managing as I should sometimes, and I snack, I nibble. We got to manage it. It's easy to go off your diet. Stress can also increase your blood pressure. We don't want that because that can cause additional damage. That was one of our rules. Stop the damage. Stress also causes chemical changes in your body. There's hormones, things like that. That get released. We don't need all that stuff going on. So find ways to manage your stress. Let's take a look and see what people have said. Oh, Debbie, this is a good one. Meditating. Very good one right there. Let's see. What else do we have here? Looking for it. Give me your ideas. What do you guys do? So here's what I do. Number 1, well, first of all, I have mottos. I love slogans. Okay, that I follow. And there's 2 that I remind myself multiple times throughout the day. One of them, when things start going bad, it comes from Les Mis, even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. I always remember that. And pretty much it says, no matter how bad things get, they're going to get better eventually. So I remind myself of that. Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Let me focus on that rising sun. How do I get past this to that point? My other saying that I follow, and oh, we can't see it. There's a poster behind my head with some orange stripes right back there, and it says 7,000 plus, go like hell. I'm a car guy. That's a Shelby thing. They actually use it in Shelby versus Ferrari. There's a book called that. It pretty much just means, you know, to Shelby, it was they had the vehicles. They weren't supposed to go over 6,000 RPM on the engines. They weren't going to win the race unless they pushed those engines a little further. And he wrote a sign, held it up and said, who cares, pretty much. Do it. Floor the thing. Do what you have to do. And won the race, which is awesome. And I love that story, being a car person. So I have those two things, and I remember that. If I'm out walking, I'm like, oh, I'm too tired. I want to go home. I think 7,000 plus, go like hell. And I remember that story, and boom, I got my energy. All right, I see some other good things on here. Going for a walk, definitely a great way to get rid of stress. And then I saw some other good ones in here. I see calm radio. I absolutely love music. So besides the two sayings, music is my #1 stress reliever and the thing that inspires me, that keeps me going. There is always music in my head. Everything in life has a soundtrack. Wherever I'm at, I can just think, oh, I know what kind of music would be great for this. And when I wake up in the morning, I have a morning playlist that I play. The very first song, Rise Up by Andra Day. Every single morning, I listen to that song, and it just pumps me up. And the rest of the songs in that playlist are all songs that lift you up, that just motivate you, that get you going. You can do it. You can accomplish this. Nothing's going to hold you down. Don't let things hold you back. It's all about overcoming things. And I love that. I love listening to music. It helps relieve stress. I love doing it while I'm walking. And then I laugh because, guys, I'm overweight. You guys just see me from like here up, okay? I'm never going to stand up to where you see the worst part, okay? I'm a pear. I love dancing. No one's around, I dance. I'm out there dancing, got the music on, listening to lots of great country music with the beat, the get up, things like that, just going at it and dancing. A great way to release stress. Let's see, I see doing puzzles. So great thing right there. Let me tell you, puzzles are a stress maker for me. My kids love gigantic puzzles with lots of pieces. It just drives me nuts. But that is a great thing. Sitting down in the quietness, doing, a puzzle. Ooh, Abby, a Mustang. I would absolutely love to get like one of the new Shelbys they just announced. I work in automotive. That is the industry I work in. Some new Shelbys, great vehicles. But I got my 2 kids. I have a big bump going in the driveway. Can't have a car like that. One day when my kids get a little bit older and we move into something a little different, get me a nice long flat driveway. Reading. We got here, reading is a great thing. Exercise, anything you can do. Whoops, I bring that up there. Boom, exercise, reading books or reading the Bible. Whatever works for you, use it to reduce stress. And your doctor can give you some more ideas on things you can do to help reduce stress. Let's see what else is on here. Oh, thank you, Maya. I appreciate that. Let me tell you, watching a funny movie, holy cow. That is an awesome, awesome thing. As a matter of fact, I have seen some movies, or usually they're like YouTube little clips, have me laughing so hard that not only do they reduce stress, but they are exercise, because I am just moving so much, absolutely laughing. I love funny movies. Awesome. Look, there we go. Dancing, Alan. Yeah. Watching a rom-com. I like the stupid movies. I'm either sci-fi. You give me a new Star Trek movie, boom, I am in heaven. Or I like the stupid comedies, Dumb and Dumber, the ones that don't make sense. My wife, she tells me she sees something really stupid. She's like, oh, I know, you'll like that one. It makes no sense. Like, yeah, that's me. I love Airplane. Endless. Naked Gun movies. Love those things. But there we go. those are the 8 steps that I have been following. And these I've been doing from the very beginning all the way to now. So I'm going to go over real quick. First, build a good health team. Second, stop further damage. You got to manage the underlying condition, your blood sugar, and your blood pressure. Number 3, monitor your labs regularly. Oh, look at that. Love stupid comedy. Yeah. Oh, they're just the best. You don't have to think. Optimize nutrition once you have your labs. So you're modifying your diet as needed. It's number 4. Number 5, consider supplements to fill deficiencies in your diet. There is no supplement that's going to change and cure and fix things, but there are supplements that can help, and they're all unique to each person. Do not self-supplement. See what your doctor, your renal dietitian, your health team, what do they recommend? Number 6, be active 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Let's just get some moving on. All right. Number 7, manage your weight. It's not easy. I know, I am with you. It's tough. And number 8, manage stress. So those right there, I've been following it almost 2 years, and it's worked great for me. And it's so simple. There's no magic or anything that so many people, oh, look at that police squad. Those are hilarious. It's so simple. Everyone can implement it and work it into their treatment strategy that you're doing. There's nothing special here. It's common, it's biology, and just lifestyle changes. Pretty much, if I had to boil it all down into 2 words, it would be live healthier. That's all. Now, I wish nephrologists were trained on something like this and that they can have a handout to hand out to all new patients. Say, hey, boom, here's the program. 8 steps. This is what we're going to do. You need a urologist. You've got an appointment already. You got this. You got this. We need to get you a renal dietitian. And here's how we're going to move forward. But that's just not how it works. They focus more on not preventative care. Here's what it is. We have sick care, not health care. These 8 steps is a health care strategy. Improving your health, not addressing sickness. We want to get you out of the sickness and hopefully keep you out of there for a long time, if not the rest of your life. All right, let me go through a few of these comments here. See if there's anything that I missed, because we got a little bit of time. Look at that, almost right at an hour. Boom. Oh, my IT stress management. Oh, that is good. I would love to get someone on to interview that can talk about stress, depression, and other common challenges that kidney patients have to help them. Because we all deal with those emotions. We all get a little bit of depression. If I let my mind wander and play what if, what could have happened, the future, it can be depressing. So I don't do that. I focus on what I can control, what's here and now. But I know a lot of people have difficulty with that. Plus, you just got life happening. And right now, life isn't normal. We got COVID out there. We got lockdowns. And if I don't mention, I want to talk about sanitizer before I go. So if I get ready to say goodbye and I didn't talk about sanitizer, you guys remind me real quick. It's very important. I forgot where I was going, but remind me about sanitizer in a moment. Darn it, I forgot what I was saying because I thought about the sanitizer thing. Oh well. Let me add the one thing about sanitizer real quick. I did get sick. I was getting sick, and I realized that it was happening after I went to the store, and I wasn't going very often, but I was using a lot of sanitizer, some generic sanitizer made in Mexico. I made an appointment with my doctor. We went in there, and turns out I had absorbed a lot of the bad alcohol. So the sanitizer is recalled. So be very, very careful if you see sanitizer and you're buying it. There is a lot of them recalled. More just got added in the last week to the recall list from the FDA. If you got those, don't use them. It absorbs to your skin. Also, you're breathing the fumes, which is not good. I had a headache and nausea. I stopped them. We took some sodium bicarbonate for a little bit to counteract the changes to my blood, my pH, and I'm back to normal. So be careful with sanitizer. Stick with name brand if you can, or just use regular wipes and wash your hands. I've almost completely eliminated the use of sanitizer, and I just use a little bit whenever I have to. I was going to create a video about that, but I wanted to wait until after I saw the doctor, and then I got so busy scheduling stuff here. All right, so any questions here? Let's bring up a few things here. I want to make sure you guys do participate in some of the upcoming shows that are coming up. Next Friday, Sarah Bitter. So she is running for office locally, but we're not going to have a political conversation. We're going to have a politics conversation. We're going to talk about healthcare, and here in the United States, what can we do, kidney warriors, to help influence the things that matter to us? How can we get a bigger voice? How can we get laws passed, changes made that will help kidney patients? We're going to talk a lot about healthcare and how you can influence it and what we need to be doing, because we need a voice when it comes to healthcare. So much money, 1% of this one government budget is spent on kidney disease. So, but we need to make sure that our voice is being heard, that there's more preventive stuff that's being done, that there's earlier engagement, that it's easier for us to get dietitians, easier for us to afford things. It just breaks my heart to see day after day after day all these people with kidney disease with GoFundMe pages. I have nothing against GoFundMe pages, but it just breaks my heart that so many of us struggle just to get care. It shouldn't be that way. So that's what we're going to talk about with Sarah Bitter, what we can do. She is an amazing person. You guys are going to love her story. She's a mother. She's a lawyer. She worked in the West Wing for Bill Clinton. She has 2 kids. One of them's autistic, maybe 2 of them. I can't remember. Yeah, I think both of them are autistic. She has gone through so much, which is so similar to what we kidney patients go through. And she's now running for office because she's decided, look, I'm going to change the laws. This is wrong. And she's going to make it happen, which is awesome. So I want you guys to hear from her. And we're going to talk about what we can do to learn about stuff in our area, at least here in the United States, and how we can influence things. So make sure you're there for Friday. I forgot to mention her at the very beginning when I was going through the list. All right. It's 7:03 p.m., my local time. Let me scan through here real quick, because I talk so much. When it's just me, it's hard to see the comments down here. Let me see if there's any questions in here. I know I did see a few about, well, let me see if I can find it. I saw marijuana in here. I do not use marijuana. I am not against marijuana. I just don't use it. It is something a lot of people can use for stress and for some medical problems. It has been shown to, have such an amazing impact at helping people. So if that, for those of you that asked that question about marijuana, talk to your doctor, have a frank and blunt conversation with them. Say, hey, doc, I'm considering it. Hopefully it's legal in your area, and they can help you. Oh, I see. Rima asked advice on reducing BUN. Oh, great question right there. Your BUN is hard to control. That one and your creatinine level are 2 that are just really difficult, but you can impact your BUN, and you may be able to impact it rapidly and get it down. So here's what I've seen. And my BUN has been all over the place. I like to say bun. My bun has been all over the place. When I stick with a plant-based diet, it goes down. Oh boy, does it go down. It also went down when I started taking Renadil, because a lot of the food that you eat is getting absorbed in the blood, and that's raising your BUN. So if we can get less of that stuff into our bloodstream, it can lower our BUN. When I eat, because I still do eat meat, I'm vegetarian except for when I'm not. And I'm vegan except for when I'm not. when I eat meat, my BUN goes up. It is easy to, in a month, to not be careful and have my BUN go up 20, 25 points. You know, eating like lots of ribeyes, which I absolutely love, things like that. When I eat plant-based, it will go down. My BUN went down from, I want to say 40, it was 40 something to 27 while eating animal protein, eating a lot of bad stuff when I started taking Renadil. I don't know where it is today. I feel great. I feel so good. And you really don't notice how bad you feel until you feel good. As a matter of fact, there's a video, I don't remember the date, but I remember the video where I mentioned it's the first time my back's not hurting. And that was my kidneys. The inflammation had finally gone down enough. They weren't bothering me. I remember that. But when they were hurting, they hurt so much for so long that I got used to it. Like, yeah, that's just the way it's supposed to feel. Oh. Hey, Debbie, thank you very much for the compliment. Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's funny. I watch those old videos and holy cow, I see the difference. I actually look younger, I believe, now than I did back then because my eyes aren't all sunken in. I've been working with, I have a person who lives in my neighborhood who is a scientist for like aging and stuff. And I've been using certain products that are over the counter, just a certain brand, their products to help minimize the wrinkles, and it's working. I'm like, holy cow. And I'm going to do a video in the future about aging because kidney patients, we age faster. It's just a part of kidney disease. But thank you very much for that compliment. For people who can't tolerate a plant-based diet, and that's kind of in a way that's me, I could go 100% plant-based if I needed to, but just a little chicken every now and then or a really good ribeye. But for those of you who think, I can't go plant-based, you tune in tomorrow. We're going to talk to John Vito about how to work in animal protein, how to pick the right kinds of meats, how to pick the right things to use. Is it shrimp? Is it this? Is it that? He's going to go through all sorts of things and talk about a lot of pretty much how to add meat into a renal diet, you know, kind of things that are important to us. Now, your dietitian is also another great resource to help you. They will have some tips, some experience, but you don't have to go. It's not 100% required to go all the way plant-based. But I'll tell you, I was a huge meat and potatoes person. The only veggies I got were the toppings on the cheeseburger, like a double cheeseburger, a big one. Not those wimpy little Burger King burgers or something like that, like the big old thick ones. Got a little lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle. That was my veggies. There was never a salad. I was a person who always substituted salads for some good old mac and cheese or something like that. But now I enjoy veggies. I've learned how to do it. But anyway, tomorrow night, oh, wait, look, we got John right here. Hey, there he is, cooking for your kidneys. He will be on tomorrow. And remember, that's his book. Hold on. Cooking for Your Kidneys. Great book. You can get it on Amazon. There's science in there. And John and I did a video about it. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. He's going to help us meat eaters who don't like to eat all plants all the time. So there's going to be great information. All right, let me see what else. Oh yeah, here we go. Plug for John's book. Awesome. John says, I need that agent video ASAP. It will be this August, this month right here. We will be doing it. I was trying to get someone from Procter & Gamble to come on because I wanted to have some of their people talking because it's Procter & Gamble products that I use. But they're all busy with the other stuff. If I had 100,000 subscribers, I might be able to get them. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Let me look one more. Let me give through a quick gander through here real quick. Someone's hoping for a cure. We're all hoping for a cure. I did see a few comments go by about, hey, there's some advancements being made. There is the artificial kidney. I've been following that. My gut, this is just from me, 7 to 10 more years before we even see that as a possibility for select few. The artificial kidney will help people get their GFR to a 20 to 30. It's not giving you a GFR 120 because that's the top of the GFR. It's not doing that. It's not giving you a 60 or anything like that. It's just going to get you to a 20 to 30, which is where most people can fully manage all the symptoms so they can live a regular life. So really that's all we need. That one's making progress. There's a few other ones that are in the works, but the one I see the most advanced is the artificial kidney. And my gut says at least another 7 to 10 years. So at the end of this decade, I think we'll see that. Here's Nick, who's talking about his BUN, went from 86 to 60 on Renadil in just a few weeks. Very good, Nick. And we'll have Renadil, the people from Renadil here. Kibo Biotech is the name of their company. I'm a vegetarian, except when I'm not. And that's what I say all the time. And my wife's sister, who lives like a mile away, her and her family, except for the husband, are vegetarians. He's mostly vegetarian because the whole family is. She's very happy that I have learned the benefits of eating a plant-based diet. We have someone asking, what is the BUN? Blood urea nitrogen. I believe that's it. It's one of the labs, which we'll be talking about on Tuesday with Jen, that you need to keep an eye on. The bun, it's one of those ones that swings really easy. It's greatly impacted by your diet, where numbers like your creatinine are impacted, but not as much. Reducing meat most creatinine comes from your body. It's not from the food that you're consuming. So Alex, doc told me to avoid red meat. They say that all the time. So one thing you're going to learn, that's where a health team is good that includes a renal dietitian. They can help you not go overboard. So you shouldn't be eating highly processed meat. There are certain kinds of meats that are better than others, and we'll be talking about that tomorrow with John. My doctor, he allows me to eat red meat. It's just not every single meal. And I can't have those great big old giant steaks. Do you guys remember the movie The Great Outdoors with John Candy, where he gets that 96 ounce gigantic steak, and if he eats it all, it's free. That was me. I was like, a challenge and a big old steak. I would love that. I can't do those anymore. Plus I can't be getting all the junk food or the worst type of meat. Let me scroll through here one more time. See any comments? We got so many. This is great. It is so much easier when I have someone to talk to, like Jen, because I do let them talk, and then I'm looking through all the comments. We got a great live. Thank you. Oh, that's fantastic. Yes, Barb was talking about her copay. Those are the kinds of things that when we talked to Sarah on Friday, that she had to face similar things, and it's just wrong. So she's going to change things, at least here in Ohio. That's what she's working for, is to change it. But just because it gets changed here in Ohio, doesn't mean it's going to change everywhere. So we're going to talk about what you can do in your area, so we can at least be heard and hopefully try to influence things like that. I heard a few more things. Here's a good question. Whoops. I clicked the wrong one. Let's see. Try to healthy switch from regular milk to almond milk. Oh, very good. I like vanilla flavored almond milk. Now, I do not like it out of the box. I put it I freeze it in cups, and it tastes like vanilla ice cream. As a matter of fact, I had some last night, and I'm going to have some tonight, because I froze some. And I don't let it freeze all the way. We have multiple freezers. We've got kids. They go through so much food. So we have multiple freezers. I have one that's not as cold. It's not 0, so that things don't freeze all the way. And I put almond milk in there, let it freeze, and it is like a vanilla frosty. Absolutely love it. There was another question. Lifting weights, does that impact creatinine negatively? Okay, this is where, yes, your muscles are always, there's always some breakdown and stuff, and that's releasing the creatinine, creating creatinine in your bloodstream. And if you do some heavy weightlifting, you're ripping muscles, rebuilding muscles, you are going to increase your creatinine, which will negatively impact your GFR. It's going to show it down low.